All right. In this episode, we are joined by Samantha and Lauren Street. Thank you for joining me. We're super excited. Class of 2015, right?
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
10 years. Good. Time for a reunion.
Something like that.
Something like that. All right. So, obviously, unique experience. Twins. Why did y'all pick early college?
Go ahead, Lauren.
Well, I picked it because I had to, because you were going there. So our mom, I wanted to go to regular, like public high school, and our mom, because Sam was going to early college, said, I really want you to try just 1 year. So I agreed. And then that 1 year was the best year. And so I did not want to go to public school anymore. I loved early college, and that's how I ended up going. But Sam was like the first one that kind of got on the path of going to early college.
Tell us more, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was the opposite. I didn't want to go to a traditional high school. The thought was very overwhelming. And I don't remember how I found out about early college. I think there might have been like an interest letter sent or something along those lines. But I also toured the program that they had over at Socastee High School, and it still felt a little bit too integrated with, traditional high school. And then after touring early college and going through the process, it felt like it wasn't just an opportunity that anyone gets. You have to apply, you have to get interviewed, all of the steps that you have to take to get in. It felt more like an opportunity that was selective, and there was a reason I was picked to go. And then after touring it and getting to have the interviews, I felt just that it was the right fit for me.
Well, we are excited you made that decision. We got you and we got Lauren. So that was good. And class of 2015, fantastic class overall.
Yeah.
I talked to a lot of people from 15. All right, so you're in cool Bridge Week. How much fun was Bridge Week?
Oh, that was so much fun. I just remember thinking, going through all of Bridge Week, thinking this is not something that I would have experienced at St. James High School. And it was very welcoming. It alleviated any worries, any nerves that I had, and just made me so excited and felt that I really made the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember much about Bridge Week, because my memory's shot these days, I remember being so nervous, but it really helped, obviously, having Sam there because it's like a built-in buddy. So having Sam is a little bit more outgoing than I am. So she kind of pushed us to get to know people more. And then, of course, it being a small class, you end up, knowing people fairly quickly and then establishing those relationships. So, if it wasn't for Sam, I probably would have been a little bit more reserved, but
Yeah.
she's kind of like my confidence. So she pushed us to get it out there a little bit more.
Love it. And you also have a lot of outgoing people in that class too,
Yeah.
super friendly, like to joke around, like to have a good time. So it
Yeah.
makes sense. All right, so you do the Bridge Week thing, you meet all the people, and yeah, we still do all the same things, all the balloon games, and all of it's the same. And you guys were still in the old building, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the kids now don't even know, like, because we didn't move here till 13. Uh,
Right.
they don't even know about the walks across campus in
Yeah.
puddles and having to wear rain boots, and they
Yeah.
just don't, they
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, y'all also don't have the Starbucks right there either, but
No.
I'm jealous.
I guess there are trade-offs. All right, so you do freshman year, you're making all kinds of friends. You know, you're both super smart. Uh, you get through freshman year, you get into sophomore year. Sophomore year, you start seeing college classes. How does Avid help you kind of navigate that? Because you're doing high school and college at the same time. How's Avid help?
I feel like Avid was kind of like the place where you went and you were just organized. You learned how to be organized, how to make the best use of your time. So it kind of felt like a home base in which you were able to just explore what was the best for you, kind of how you wanted to set up for success. And then, of course, there were the tips and the tricks and the Cornell notes and all of those things that kind of helped prepare you. So I just felt like it was really useful in kind of integrating so many useful skills and tools.
Yeah,
Speaking,
I think that I would have fallen on my face without Avid in those college courses because everything we learned in Avid was a direct correlation to our college courses. So it was real life skills that you're learning that I used all the way through my years, even after graduating. When I went on to Coastal Carolina University, I still used those same practices. So, I mean, nowadays, when you go from high school to college, and even when you're doing it at the same time, they're completely different skills that you have to use. And so I felt that it helped us in the best way possible to succeed in those courses.
gotcha. You mentioned that it's a different skill set. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
So, as a teacher, we guide students through everything in class. We guide them through how to take notes. We remind them that their work is due. We remediate if we're needed. And in college, that doesn't happen. You are on your own. You have to know how to organize. You have to know how to take notes. You have to keep track of your due dates. You don't have that same hand holding. So Avid taught us how to do that independently and succeed in those classes. Taught us how to take notes, keeping track of assignments and when they're due, how to work on them throughout the week so you're not overwhelmed, how to manage your time. And you don't get that in high school. You are guided through all of that.
Gotcha. Good explanation. All right, so junior year, you're mainly taking those college classes, a couple high schools when still sprinkled in. And senior year, good luck, seniors. We'll see you at graduation.
Yeah.
Uh, how does that work in terms of trying to? Because I mean, obviously, we're giving you more freedom as you go. But that senior year, it's like, all right, no training wheels. Seriously, we'll see you at the graduation.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like?
I feel like it wasn't as scary as we thought it would be because we were being prepared for that the whole time. So when we all kind of got to the senior year and those who of us were kind of mainly in all of the college courses, we were already prepared. So it was almost like adulting was just kind of innate to us at that point. And we had been set up so well, so by the time we're seniors, it's kind of just like second nature at that point.
That makes sense. It's kind of just like what's next.
Yeah.
I also think it helped a lot with avoiding what I like to call senioritis. Like the seniors, they can't see the finish line. That's the same routine that they've been following freshman, sophomore, junior year. And for me, I didn't have that because it was completely up to me. And I think that really helped alleviate that not being able to see the finish line. Like I could see it, I was in control of it, I was in control of my day to day. I came when I had classes, I left when I didn't. And the freedom and flexibility really helped alleviate and avoid dragging my feet. Like I had the finish line, I could see it, I was in charge of it, I was taking the steps to get there by myself, and it was a huge motivation.
And y'all kind of had an interesting experience there with senior year, if I recall.
Yep.
Yeah.
One that nobody would envy at all.
Absolutely not.
Uh, can you describe kind of the importance of having those relationships with people in the school to get you through some hard times? You don't have to go into details. We're not trying to cry about anything, but I mean, if you want to, you're welcome to. But uh,
I mean, for most of the teachers, remember, I don't know who's new and who's still there, but we had that really bad car accident right before senior year started. And so when senior year started, Trey was still in the coma, our little brother, he was still in the coma and kind of figuring out what was next, what the possible outcomes were and everything. So we kind of had to head into senior year on edge pretty much. But by that point, senior year, the class that you started with doesn't always have all of the students. Some kind of want to go back to public school, some drift off and do other things. So you kind of by senior year have a core like group of students. And so not only was that really helpful because we got support there, but all of the teachers were so supportive and so helpful and you know still pushed us, but did it in a way that was gentle because of the circumstances that we were going through. And if I remember, there was just always like care surrounded, and people were always checking in and making sure that everything was taken care of. And if we needed to make any accommodations or adjustments to the senior year, but you know, it was really, I think it was really healing for us to
Yeah.
go senior year with the group that we had and the teachers that we had, because if we had gone to public school, we would have been just lost in the numbers. We wouldn't have really been attention at attention for anybody. Would kind of just have been in the background. So it was really healing and helpful to have such a core group that genuinely cared about us and our family.
obviously, those relationships are important. Life happens, and it's important to know who you got in your corner.
Yep.
Uh, y'all made it through. Uh, all right, so senior year, we're working through it. We're getting through it. We both, I assume, are on the same track, associate arts,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
because we're planning on continuing our education. Uh, you start to go through the scholarship process, and I want to talk about one scholarship in particular. Obviously, you're eligible for a whole bunch of them, but I want to focus on just the one, uh, the Bruce Dow Canton Pelican Scholarship. A kind of unique experience there too for you, right? Because you both get recognized with it. And you go out onto the field, right? Because we recognize you at a Pelicans game, which is awesome. Uh, what's that like to get public recognition like that uh, for your studies? Like that's seems like it'd be really cool.
I remember being very nervous to have a lot of attention at the game, but I also think it highlighted us in a way that going to like your traditional high school, you get kids get scholarships, they move on. I think that a lot of people were still learning about early college at that time, and it not only drew attention to what that program was, but it also showed society